Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome to lesson 3 from chapter 3, subtracting integers, on pages 215 to 218. Today I want you to pause the video right now and try doing all the questions from pages 215 to 218, the lesson part, the examples. Okay, not the guided practice, we'll do that in class, but do the examples on your own by following the instructions. So you're going to look, for example, example 1 and then example 2 of your textbook, okay? And then you're going to do the questions on the bottom. Please try that first and then watch the video to see if you did it correctly, okay? Then you can see the way, because the textbook's going to teach you one way to do it, and I want to teach you other ways to think about it as well, and then you can check to see if you got the answer right. This will help you, trust me. Okay, let's get started. Pause the video, you start on your own, do all the questions from the examples, and then play the video and check your answers, okay? Okay, so subtract integers, the real world link. And we're going to talk about diving off a diving board. The platform on a diving board is 3 meters high. The actions of a diver climbing up the diving board platform and diving 1 meter below the water surface are shown on the number line at the right. So we're on the ground level, ground zero, okay? And then the diver climbs up 3 meters to get all the way to the diving platform. Right here's the diving board. The diver jumps, goes down, here's the water, right? Here's the water, goes 1 meter under the water and comes back up. And that's how it's shown, okay? So the diver's actions can be represented by the subtraction equation. So we have 3 positive, we don't have to write a positive sign, we have 3 positive going up. Then minus 4, because then we take away 4 going down. It's going to give us, where do we end up? At negative 1 meter below the surface. You see that? Right here, negative 1. So write a related addition sentence for the subtraction sentence. Now we have to write an addition sentence. And we did this on the previous lesson. Let's see if this makes sense to you. Okay, so we have 3, right? We went up 3. And then we took away 4. And that's going to equal negative 1. If you don't have this copied down yet, make sure you do, okay? And this is a key answer. Okay, let's try it again, but this time we're going to actually make the number line. This one's a horizontal one rather than vertical. Use the number line to find 1 minus 5. Then write a related addition sentence for the subtraction. Okay, so let's see. We have 1. So we're going to move to the right with 1. I like to make the ones blue, so we start at 0 and we move to the right 1. Right? To positive 1, as you see right there. And then we have negative 5. Let's make negative red. We're going to move negative 5. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right there to the negative 4. Right? And that's where we end up. So our difference is negative 4. The difference. Remember, when we find subtraction, we're looking for the difference. What about the addition sentence? Well, we start off with a positive 1, and then we move negative 5 to give us a negative 4. There you have it. Now let's review on the next page the concept of a additive inverse, as you see right here, additive inverse. Okay, when we talk about an additive inverse, we're talking about the opposite of a number. Okay, so for example, I can have 4 and negative 4, right? Those are additive inverse. They will always equal to 0. Now what they want us to do is, remember this one strategy, where to subtract an integer, when you're subtracting it, add its additive inverse. So you're supposed to actually change it to an adding and add the additive inverse, the opposite of the number. For example, you have 4 minus 9. If you want to change it to as an addition, you write the additive inverse. So here, this is just a 9. As you see, a 9 standing on its own. The operation is subtraction. But if you want to change the operation to addition, you must add the additive inverse. You see over here, it's a positive 9. Over here, it's a negative 9. So the opposite of it. And it's going to give you negative 5. The same way. Okay? Let's try it here then. If you have 7 minus 10. Now minus 10, they're telling you to change the operation from a subtraction to an addition, and then include the additive inverse. Additive inverse is the opposite. On here it's positive 10, negative 10, here's positive 10. Okay, and it's always going to give you the same result. Now another way that I've taught my class in previous years to do is, because we're going to be working with multiplying and subtracting integers later on, remember that when you multiply a negative times a negative, and I say multiply because here you have a parentheses, and parentheses implies multiplication. And let's say you multiplying symbol times symbol. When you multiply a negative times a negative, it equals a positive. So these two get replaced with just simply a positive sign, so it's 7 plus 10. Okay, and that'll give you 17. That's one way I've taught my students in the past. Please take a look at the explanation on your own. Now here they've done the additive inverse operation, where you see that they have 8 minus 13 and they change it to 8 plus negative 13 to give you negative 5. Okay, and same as here as well. So go ahead and check those out on your own, but let's try A, B, and C. I hope you've done them already, so that we can go ahead and just check your answers. So 6 minus 12. You have 6. We can use a credit card example where you have $6 and then you spend your $6 plus, actually you spend more than your $6. You spend double the $6. So what's going to happen is you're going to be further in debt to negative 6. Okay? Now you have negative 20. We're starting all the way down negative 20. And then another, you take away another 15. Okay? Or what you could do, another example is that you could write negative 20 little bubbles and another negative 15 little bubbles and count how many negatives you have in total. You will have negative 35. Okay? And then again here, you have negative 26. And another negative 22 and another negative 26. When you put all those together, okay, and you count them out, you're going to have negative 48. Okay? If these are not making sense to you or you got a different answer, please let me know in class and I will show you how to do it. Now here we have the example where we have a negative followed by a negative sign. Okay, as you can see in example 3, minus minus 2. Minus minus 2, you see that minus 7. Let's just replace, whenever you have a minus, parentheses minus, minus parentheses minus, okay, negative parentheses, replace that with a positive. Okay. One of my students in one of my classes reminded me that I taught them a couple of years ago that this actually kind of looks like a plus sign. You can make this the stick that goes down, and the two sticks will join and make your plus sign right there, if you want to remember it that way as well. So if we do that, that means I connect the dots here and make my plus sign there, connect the dots here, make my plus sign there, and connect my dots here and make my plus sign right there. And now I can just do simple addition. 4 plus 12 is 16. Negative 15 plus 5. You have negative 15 and now you add 5 positives to it. It's going to give you negative 10. Okay? And then you have 18 plus 6 is 24. Okay? Make sense? And for examples 5 and 6, we're simply going to replace variables. We're given now an algebraic expression using letters, variables, but we're given the value. See? X minus y. X equals negative 6 and y equals negative 5. So all we have to do is just replace them, right? And you can see that's been done for you right there, and it's also been done here for you again. Let's try it. So these are on page 217. If you haven't done them yet, please do them and then check your answers. I'm going to go right ahead and replace all the variables down here. Okay, now let's see what I've done. I replaced b with negative 8, as you can see right there. B is negative 8. And then I have a minus b. Now remember, my operation is subtracting, as you can see right there. And b is also a negative value. So I keep my subtraction, as you see there, and then I also include my negative 8. Don't forget that. You see that? So it's minus, and I have a negative 8, so I have to include both. Okay. And then c is negative 9 minus 5. You see that? Okay, so go ahead. Let's solve it. Okay, so I have negative 8. Negative 8 minus negative 10, minus 10. So I have negative 8, and then I spend another 10. I'm going to have a total of negative 18. Okay? And then here I have 5 minus 8. We could just replace this with a plus sign, and now I have 13. right? And then I have -9, and I take away another 5. I continue to get in debt. Let's just say I spent $9, so I'm $9 in debt in my credit card, and I spend another 5. I'm going to be a whole -14. I hope you've gotten them all correct so far. Okay, let's try the word problem on page 218. Okay, Brenda had a balance of -$52. That means she owes the bank $52 in her account. The bank charged her a fee of $10. This means she's losing another $10 for having a negative balance. What is her new balance? So she has, let's just draw it out here. She has -$52 in her bank account. And then her bank charged her another $10, and I put a negative sign because they're charging her that. They're taking that away. It's more money that she's losing. What is her total balance? It's going to be -62 now. She owed 52, and then the bank wants another $10. Now she owes the bank 62. Okay, therefore, her new balance is -62. Remember that your therefore statement answers the question. It says, what is her new balance? Her new balance is -$62. Go ahead and copy that down as a key answer. Just put a star on both sides. Okay, here's the guided practice. Please leave this for class so we can do it together as a warm-up. And complete this page on your own as the independent practice. Now, please complete this at home. Try to do as much as you can. You should be able to do it all. Okay, now, and remember, you can always reflect back on the examples. Okay, so this one, for these ones, you have examples 1 to 4, as you see right there. And then for this one, you have examples 5 and 6, replacing the variables as we've done. Okay, and then you have a few word problems right there.